Sandeep, thank you once again for joining us. Sandeep is a strong and valuable partner and supporter of our cause, of our journey, and thank you again for doing it, and a warm welcome to your family and the senior leadership. And a bit about CDS. So I don't know how many people know, but this is the 20th year celebration of CDS. So big round of applause for CDS.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
They were set up in 2004. Funny fact, the history and origin of CDS goes back to 1956,
that's right,
USSR. So that's where the origin started. Of course, it was formed in 2004, a leading player in the infrastructure business. And a lot of the highway you have traveled to the hotel, I'm told, has been built by CDS Infra.
So CDS, the full form is Center Door Stroy. So this center means central, door means road, Stroy means construction. So in USSR time, 1956, they had made this company to make the roads in central part of Russia. So for decades, it was doing that as a socialist country. In about 91, when Perestroika came, the government company became a private, and Mr. Aruchino became the owner of this company. And in 2001, my family was instrumental in bringing CDS to India. So that's when CDS came to India, and we have formed a good alliance with them. By 2004, 2005, we launched the Indian subsidiary. So I was the youngest in the group of, I would say, board or people who were handling the affairs. So they made me the first MD and said, okay, now you go and you start this business. So we had our challenges. Russian bank guarantees weren't recognized in India. Russian equipment was all benzene, it was all petrol driven. And in India we had all diesel driven vehicles. So we couldn't bring much from there except qualification. So we had bunches of paper balance sheet, and we had our certificate of incorporation, and I took that. And I got the first 150 crores of orders for the company. Then we started to think, acha, now how are we going to implement it? So we started hiring people, we started purchasing machinery. And I remember, even after the first 150 crores, M1 exchange wasn't there. So without M1 exchange, it was very difficult to generate your cash flows, get your machineries, get financing done. So it was a tough journey, the initial few years. But then as time went by, we got more orders, we got more recognition. But the main thing I would like to share with the audience here is you have joined this company M1, which is a visionary in its field. You wouldn't have heard before, and you wouldn't have heard anybody else think about it, what Sandeep thought of. So I associate with him, I could relate with him that, you know what he said, that he read somewhere and he thought of an idea, and without thinking too far, he just took the first step. That is the biggest thing. In any business, any successful entrepreneur, or if you or anybody wants to do it, it's not to think too ahead. If you feel that something is good, just start taking first steps in that direction, and then you'll get to know as you progress. So we also did the same thing. We grew, and then from states, we got into state highways, and then we came to national highways, and today we are building about 8 expressways now. So Delhi-Mumbai Expressway, we're making 2 projects. Amritsar-Jamnagar, we're doing 2 projects. Delhi-Amritsar-Katra Expressway, we are making 2 projects. And Ganga Expressway also, we are part of it. So we are in the highest qualification of roads is the expressways. And we are part of 8 such projects. So the idea is that when we started, and when even 5 years before, we didn't see ourselves here. So it's as the opportunities come, as the industry opens its, the opportunities and the projects come. So you evolve to those standards. So that's how we have come this way. And we have a great team, we have a great group of people, engineers, team. Today we are about 3,000 people. So it all starts small, and slowly as the time passes, if the industry is growing, if the opportunities are there, you definitely did. So for me, it is identifying the right people who I can, meet, and I know their reference, I know their background, with whom I can trust, and then giving them the freedom to perform. So we prefer that we make our goals and we divide the responsibility among the team, and then we delegate and we let them perform the way they want to do, and then it's more of the work among everybody that we all perform and then we grow together. So that is basically finding the right talent and then giving them the freedom to grow. So in our line, our rating always help us. So ratings, external ratings. So we are always striving to be better. We are A+ today. We were BBB when we started. We became BBB+, and then A-, whatever. So the rating, how the company is performing and how the finance it looks on the paper as well as overall in the market. So our ratings keep changing and improving hopefully. So that is one of our criteria of how we monitor our operations. Obviously, if we have so many HAM projects, there's a lot of pressure on creating equity. So the net worth and equity growth is important to have a visibility for future HAM projects. So if today we are doing about 6,000 crores of HAM projects, we would need about 1,000 plus equity. So equity creation and creating that much of reserves is important as well as the cash flows. So that's our constant planning and our endeavor to keep increasing the rating, getting the better market deals from banks, and as well as creating equity so that we can finance more HAM projects. Yeah, so actually we have our CEO and the CFO and our financial advisor who are more into these numbers and crunching. My basic philosophy is very simple. I like to sit on hard cash. So I need a few 100 crores in sheet in the FDR, even if I'm losing interest. But I'm an orthodox kind of a person. So if roughly after 2 months working capital I have in my pocket, I feel comfortable. So when I was first told that there's a platform called M1 and your suppliers can get factoring and discounting, I was surprised that, is it really possible? And from what I heard of it, and all my vendors came to me and they said, sir, we can increase trade with you, we want to do more work with you. I said, how are you going to do that? He said, sir, now we have M1. So that is the power of M1. So we have been drawn into this process. We were not planning for it. And the team of M1 is great. They came over, they met our people, they said to start with certain numbers. And I said, no, this is too much. And within 3 months, they said it's fully exhausted. So the vendors increased their working efforts, their quantities, supplies became faster. They could churn better, they could have a good turnaround. So it was what Sandeep was saying, it is so automatic that it's infectious, it grows so well on you that from the first initial MSP became 3x within, I think, a year or something like that. So it's a great product, it's a great aspect from the industry. I'm very glad to hear that you're going to small business, and I'm so excited to imagine what it's going to do to the trade in India, and it's a wonderful thought. So you said also to talk about something that we were thinking that to include the larger players, it's difficult. So my CFO was telling me that if we get the larger suppliers also enlisted or something like that, there's some problem. But if that also gets smoothened out, it will be much better. So I don't know whether I'm capable and qualified to give suggestions to everybody, but what has worked for me is to speak your mind and to think different. So if you are in an organization where they appreciate you to think out of the box or think something different, do not hesitate speaking to your seniors or walking into your CEO's office and saying, can we do this better, can we do this? So everybody is looking for solutions and options and different ways to do things. So you should always think what better I can do, what better I would like to do, what better my company could do, and bring those ideas up the management wherever you are and share it with your colleagues. So there's always a positive information flow which helps growing. and you have a great leadership, and you don't need better than that.
Wow, okay, great. Thank you for that.